All right.
Can I use my...
All right. Welcome in, friendos. It is Pi Day.
For smart math people.
Pi Day.
March. That's the first time I think I've ever heard you sing.
Friday. That song Friday?
No, Pi Day.
I know, but Pi Day to the tune of Friday.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get to celebrate Pi Day because I was not a math person. That was for smart math people.
You can do it today.
I don't like math either.
3.14.
We got Greg Tizer eating into the microphone, his pizza. Mm-hmm. We have a peanut gallery live.
Nope, the dog pound.
The dog pound, he says.
We have a live audience.
And Mike Stella. Just kidding.
Hey, Mike.
This is Bert Anderson joining us today.
I'm the understudy of Mike's understudy.
I was
I'm
talking,
the assistant to the
since we
assistant
have
regional
you here
manager.
the assistant to the assistant.
Who's the assistant regional manager?
We have
Paul.
Since we have
Paul's
Bert
usually-
here, I want to ask you this. I was talking to my brother on FaceTime the other day. If you could think of like a bad movie that has an actually decent script and you could remake it. You know, because they always remake
Don't you think it looks dark behind us?
good movies.
Don't you think we should... We don't have the TV on, but do you think we should turn that light on up here?
No, I don't, because it washes out the camera. The camera grabs all that light from behind us.
Light.
So I'm not a professional. A bad movie with a good script that you would want to remake.
I thought you said a good movie with a bad script.
No, other way around. Something that had a good idea, but when it came
done
out
poorly.
on screen, it was just like, this is bad. But it was a decent
Like the
script.
Super Mario Brothers.
Sure.
Oh, Waterworld.
Yeah.
Very true.
I liked Waterworld.
Okay,
would.
really? But the peen thing?
I just liked it because it was all on the ocean.
Encino Man was terrible.
I don't know if you can touch Encino Man. There's some movies like
Rise of Skywalker.
I liked all three of the new Star Wars movies.
Oh. I liked the second one.
I'm a real fan.
That is not a... You cannot... Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You cannot...
Yes.
What?
No. Yes. I'm
No.
not.
Andy
Yes.
is to Star Wars what Brennan is to sports teams.
Oh,
No.
Baseball.
okay.
No,
I understand.
no, not-
Got it.
not at all.
Got
No.
it.
That's
No,
what, that makes
he's
sense to
super
me. It just clicked.
wishy-washy.
Just
Okay,
clicked.
but now you have to
No.
now you have to explain
No, because
it.
I've always asked Brax. I've always defended those movies.
I know you have.
And Brennan will flip on a dime. Like last night, we were texting with him about the fantasy baseball draft, and he flipped his first pick like 8 times. And then I said, do some research before we do the draft, buddy, because I don't want you to do something that is so weird.
I think Brennan's problem is he does too much research, and then there's too many opinions.
Sure. Yeah.
Poor Brennan.
Does he overthink it?
Yes. So Brennan is like me, but he's detail oriented like Ben.
Brennan is her
Brennan's
son.
my oldest.
He's what, 15?
15 and a half.
Oh.
He's learning how to drive.
Really? It's 15 and a half?
Yes. And because he has a phone, I think I've realized like our children are not paying attention to road. He has not looked at a road sign ever.
No, because all they'll do
They just
is they
did
put
this.
their, yeah. I mean, I was with a 22-year-old in Hawaii, and like he doesn't even know directions around his own hometown. He has to have his phone, otherwise he has no idea where he's going.
It's so sad. I'm like, have you seriously? You've never looked at a road sign?
Yeah.
Like, what is this road sign over here? And he's like, I've never seen
Does
that.
he know what road you live on?
He does, because in third grade they make them memorize that.
Sure. Yeah.
I wonder what percentage of kids, before they start driving now, like if you took them to like 10 miles away, they could find their way home. Or they could give like their friend's mom directions how to get back to
Sure.
their house.
I know
Probably not very
kids
many.
who can give directions back home in the daylight, but not at night.
But if you're out of your, like most kids, if you're
Mm-hmm.
in town, they're fine. But if you get out, like, say if we took your kids to like Maple Grove
Yeah.
or
Could they
Plymouth,
make it back to
even maybe a
Rogers?
little bit further out, could they make it back home?
Mine couldn't.
Yeah.
Kira might be able to because she doesn't have like,
Because she's the best.
because we don't have like a TV or anything. And so she's just looking
Just
out.
watching.
Yeah, she's just watching the road. Okay, I have a funny story, even though this relates to nothing. When we lived in Germany, I was,
Sorry.
yeah. Anyways, so I was going into like 7th grade, and when we moved to Germany, you know how like when you exit, the exit will
I've never
say,
been to Germany.
Well, in the U.S., when you
Oh.
exit, it tells you what you're exiting towards. You know,
Sure.
like the city. In Germany, all the signs say Ausfahrt.
Ausfahrt?
Yeah, it says Ausfahrt
Oh.
and stuff. And so for the longest time, I was like,
Mausfahrt?
well, I thought that there was some major city in Germany called Ausfahrt.
Yeah.
And all roads led to Ausfahrt.
What does Ausfahrt mean?
Exit.
Exit? That's funny.
And I said to my mom, I was like, where is Ausfahrt?
Yeah.
And she was like, what?
Thought you were gonna say it was like you exit and it's like Japan.
No,
that
it's
way.
like I was like, there's like this huge city in Germany called Ausfahrt. It's secret, and nobody's ever told us about it.
That's funny.
All roads lead to Ausfahrt.
So as a 7-year-old, you never even learned.
7th grader.
7th grader, you never learned any German.
Well, I did a little bit. Ambition. It's a little. They speak English. Let's be honest, and they get annoyed. They're not as bad as
Speaking
the
of
French.
annoying,
They're fairly aggressive people, though.
Germans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a history buff or not. This is my favorite line of all time.
Oh,
of all
gosh.
time.
What?
Maybe
I don't
you
know
should
if you're
tell-
I
a
don't know if
history
you're a
buff.
history buff. Norm Macdonald's set on the last episode of Letterman where he talks about World War II.
He said
It's
that.
just, I don't know if you're a history buff. You gotta go watch it.
But
I don't
the
understand.
Germans. Yeah.
That's all he said is, I don't know if you're a history buff. Okay. I was like,
There's
I don't
context.
A couple other quick questions.
Okay.
What's something?
I don't want to do the whole thing.
What's something interesting you've watched lately?
what did we watch recently?
Not that we endorse any or all of this stuff.
Nope, we don't. Mm-mm. We don't believe in TV.
But you live in that world.
I do. Oh my goodness. I wanted to watch the Jason and Kylie Kelsey show on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
I have not watched that yet.
My mom watched it.
They have a show.
Did she like it?
Yeah,
they
she
do.
likes it. She likes those guys. I'm like, really?
I've heard Kala was telling me about it. Kala Roth.
Yeah.
She was saying that I would love it because they're very normal. And she's they're very down to earth and normal. Ben and I watched a really good documentary on Netflix, and I can't remember what it was. There was some sports documentary that we watched. Oh, I
Swing?
watched
The golf
the USA women's soccer
Oh, okay.
documentary on Netflix. Yeah, that was really interesting.
I have a hard time with the swing one, the golf one, because it's like these guys are super rich. I don't.
So
It's hard to
rich.
feel sorry for any of them.
I know. I do like that one. The one Bubba guy or the
Bubba
guy
Watson.
Yes, there's one guy who has a really thick Southern accent that I really like.
Right, Bubba.
I would guess Bubba.
Yeah.
And then there's the other guy
It's
on
just by
there
the name. Huh?
who is like a big jerk and has like bleached hair.
I don't know.
Yes,
My mom
you do.
would know.
Well, he's not. I don't like him. He's not nice.
Yeah.
He's
Did
really
you watch
conceited.
the Formula One, that show on Netflix?
Yes.
Documentary?
No.
You did?
Yes, we did in our basement, which has surround sound, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it because Ben makes the whole house shake.
Sweet. Asher's gotten into Formula One racing here recently.
Really,
But we haven't watched the show.
it's very
He's
stressful.
in- Yeah, it's not cheap to get into either. That's why you could pay for the Netflix show.
Yeah.
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 All right.
What have you been watching?
Shogun.
Oh, really?
See,
Yeah.
is it good? It
I
looks
think it's
amazing.
good. If you don't like reading subtitles while you watch stuff, you don't want to watch it.
That's
because
how I
it's
watch all of my shows
I know.
now.
like
I'm
half
like
of it-
my
well,
grandma.
even with English, you
Yeah.
watch with the subtitles. That's like my
Yes.
brother. My brother does that. But yeah, Shogun. The set is incredible. The acting is.
Is it really violent?
I haven't gotten to super violent parts yet because it's only episode 3.
Okay.
And there hasn't been a ton of it. But I can see in like the trailer that there's going to be like some big battles between samurai and like the Portuguese, which is interesting because they have the Japanese, the samurai, all the Japanese people, they speak in their native tongue. But then all the Portuguese, they speak English.
Oh.
But they acknowledge it being in Portuguese. They just put the Portuguese in English. It's an interesting concept.
That is an interesting
So,
concept.
but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful. And then Kaneda, he's such a great actor. You know who that is?
He was in, wasn't he in Heroes? Do you remember on NBC?
No, it's an older.
He's an older guy. I think
Okay,
he was Hero, Hiro's dad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was a great.
He was
that
also
was a
in
great
another
TV show.
movie. Well, he was in the Last Samurai with Tom
Yes,
Cruise.
yep,
He was the captain
Yeah.
guy.
I never saw that.
Oh, it was pretty good. They made a book out of it. He was also in a movie called Sunshine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what movie just came out on Netflix that I think I might want to see? Although I watched all of the spoilers on YouTube and now I'm not quite sure. Is Damsel?
Oh, I saw a preview for it. It looks like a sci-fi thing.
It's a fantasy
Okay.
about a girl, Bobby Miller. What is it? Bobby Miller Brown. Yeah.
Oh,
Millie Bobby. What is
Millie,
it?
Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah, Millie Bobby.
something Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown
She's
is a
no
princess.
relation to Bobby Brown, though, right?
No. Yeah. But she's a princess. And
Oh, Sineda.
yeah.
Yeah, he is really good in it. But yeah, the Stranger Things girl
Yes, the Stranger Things girl. She's a princess.
and Godzilla.
And it's kind of like a reverse dragon fairy tale, kind of, where it's called Damsel because there's like this kingdom and they basically sacrifice these princesses.
Is it fully set in the kind of the medieval time?
Yeah, it's like a
so
medieval
it's not like
time.
a
And it's
modern thing where she gets
no.
sucked back into the.
No,
okay.
no, she comes from a very poor, like, neighboring country, and she's marrying the prince for her, like, country to help them and stuff. And then you can go and you watch the trailers, and the prince literally drops her down a cavern.
Okay. Do you like Millie Bobby Brown as an actor?
I don't really
Have
have.
you seen Enola Holmes? Where it's like Sherlock's sister.
I
Little sister?
liked the first season,
Yeah.
and then the rest of them,
It was just like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she on there?
yep.
She was Enola Holmes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was also in the two of the Godzilla movies. Yeah, I don't know. She's okay.
I only know her name because I hear my kids talk about her. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. I
You never
didn't
watched
watch
Stranger Things?
I didn't watch Stranger Things was
Really?
too much for me.
Really?
Asher watched the
Okay.
first season,
Really?
but because all his friends were, I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then
It's
It's intense.
like recently or
Recently, it's really intense.
no? Like when did he watch the first season?
I don't know, probably over the summer.
Last summer?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Like when it came out, I would.
He was
No.
young. They
yeah,
were
he would
little.
have been little. Yeah.
No, it was like recent.
I mean, that's one of the cool things is throughout the series of Stranger Things, the kids have grown up and they've kind of adapted the series to the age of the kids as they are
Right.
now. Is there still even one more part left?
Yeah, they're supposed to be because
Yeah.
they're supposed to rescue what's his name from Russia. Like they're supposed to get out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know
Again,
who- what's
I
his
don't
name
watch
is.
the show, but
Right.
I watch YouTube spoilers.
Right.
It's like the Cliff's Notes.
Yep, it is the Cliff's Notes
Cliff's
version.
Notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else is going on, Bert? What else is new?
Let's see what else is new. I'm recording season 4 of my own podcast. I did that this morning.
Season 4.
Season
yeah, that's
4.
what I was going to ask.
I
Season
know,
4.
isn't that
What does
crazy?
mean?
Yeah, season 4. Me before mom.
Okay.
How do you, like, where did the seasons end and begin?
So we basically we do evergreen content with the exception of COVID when we were in the lockdown because it was such a specific time. It was hard to do.
What is evergreen content? mean?
Evergreen content means you can listen to it and pick it up at any point in time and it's relevant.
Oh, okay.
So it's not current events.
No, but I mean, how do you determine what a season is?
We just have like 8 episodes a season,
Okay.
10 episodes a season,
Yeah.
and we just record a bunch at a time, and then we release them per season. So
What was today's on?
Today was on motherhood, like intuition and instinct. And what does it mean?
That's good.
What does it mean?
Well, actually, like we use it all the time.
She's like, I knew you were going to ask that question.
I did not, but now I do know that you.
Is that your eggnog?
Yeah.
They have
Oh.
Easter eggnog now.
Pie nog?
Did you know that?
No, there's Easter
There's
eggnog.
the eggnog people, the big eggnog. Big eggnog have figured out they could sell it at Easter.
And when they
too.
say they're talking about the homeschool group
No.
that is here.
No. Alyssa, Andy Rubel's wife, Alyssa brought him
Well, just kidding.
apple pie, cherry pie, and eggnog.
I just assumed this was the homeschool
No,
group.
not the
This is
homeschool
just
group.
Alyssa, who's the best wife of the year.
Yeah.
Who
I
is
took
celebrating
pictures
Pie Day.
And sent them to my
Intuition.
wife.
Yes, she
Sorry.
had intuition.
Your intuition.
Intuition, and she's celebrating Pie Day. So
We're speaking through the camera on the other side to
the audience, who you can't
Mr.
see.
Andy Rubel, who was our backup to the understudy of the understudy.
yep, he was the assistant
And
to the assistant.
he finally
of the
psyched him.
assistant.
We've asked him a few
He's
times,
the intern's assistant. Is the intern's assistant?
and then he kind of finally, I think is your Facebook going glitchy, or you have Facebook up? Mine
not
keep. Other than that, my screen might be going out. It's doing that rainbow thingy.
I love rainbows.
Not when it's on your computer screen. See? Uh-oh. Anyway, it might just be the network.
Could just be.
Carry on.
Looks fine, Greg.
Um,
That's what Sarah says.
We have. Well, she was talking about the light
Oh.
when I
Okay.
asked if we should turn
There's
that
like
light on.
such a delay between.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine's kind of glitching out too.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Good. Well, I'm glad it's a network thing and not my computer because
That would be bad.
Are expensive to replace.
They are. What were we talking about?
Intuition, your podcast?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I think okay, here's an interesting study I learned about. In 2012, they did a study of 57 or 59 women ages 32 to 101. They were already dead. They did a study of their brains.
Oh,
all of them were dead? Even
All
the
of them were
32-year-old?
dead. They were,
Okay.
yeah, even the 32-year-old.
Why did they have to use dead people?
Well, you can't really go up to somebody and ask to can I dissect
Cut
your
your brain
brain?
up?
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
The dissection part.
Thanks.
You can do brain surgery.
I'd listen.
You can't. Did you know you can't even feel it?
Right.
I feel like this is supposed to be a joke.
No, it's not.
Okay,
I heard
I'm
this
just
recently.
checking.
I was shocked.
Can you feel when they cut your head
No,
open?
like once they get past the
Okay.
Past the
breaking
nerves.
of your skull and cutting, but like when they're actually like
Poking
cutting
around
into
your
your
brain,
brain,
yeah, you can't feel that.
you can't
Once
feel
they
it.
break your skull,
Yeah.
Yeah,
then you can't feel
that's
it.
the hard part.
It's when they
Yeah.
would do like back in the old days when they do
Hey.
open lobotomies. You know.
Yeah,
I feel like you should have did it.
Did it.
yeah.
Anyway, so they did this
Anyways.
study and they found in I forget, it was 27 of these women that they had the Y chromosome in part of their brains, which in different regions of their brain, which would not be possible unless it came from their fathers, which would make them males. And so
Oh, we're
their theory was
Backing up to it. Interesting conversations now.
I'm just saying.
So what is a woman?
Oh my gosh, that's not what I'm saying. So, what their theory was, I will send them the scientific study, was that we know that like nutrients and stuff pass between mother and child in the womb. And there's what they're hypothesizing was that there might be some DNA that passes between mother and child as a way of the mother's body understanding what is inhabiting her body so that it doesn't attack it and get rid of it.
So that's where intuition comes from.
Some of it.
So
is
the
what
Y
they're saying.
chromosome in these women's brain aren't.
It would be from
It's
the
not like
male
a-
child that she's carrying.
like it's almost like little messages or like communication devices to her. Son that they
kind of
had.
like
They had a
understanding
male
how
child.
that child
Yeah.
is wired almost.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I wonder if there's any connection between twins in that.
Yes.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
I know twins that would like have these. It's weird.
Well,
like
I know
they know
twins
when
that
the
talk
other one
about that
gets hurt.
too. Yeah.
Or
And
if
they
they're-
could be completely like
or if they're struggling. or-
miles apart.
Right.
And they talk about
yeah.
twin connection
That's so strange.
all the time.
X-Files
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
If you are a twin, let us know about your twin
We have
connection.
we have at least
What did
one
Dwight
set
say?
of twins.
I had a twin in the womb. I resorbed them. Is that what he said?
Probably.
Resorbed.
Resorbed.
You probably did.
The Krebs girls, Kendall and Skylar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're twins.
Yeah, they are twins.
Yeah.
Just saw them down there.
Yeah.
Well, we should go get them and ask them. Just kidding.
They got school.
By all means, go get somebody else besides me.
Yeah. Hey, Rubel, you're a twin. I forgot. Oh. You know who's a twin? Brad Grandstrand. But he's not here. But Tammy is.
Brad's a twin?
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know
I
that?
I didn't know that.
What's going on?
I've known him a long time.
He just realized he wasn't talking to Brad.
Something clanging around inside the.
I don't know. It goes just to the sink. So
Oh my goodness! It sounds like somebody's in the wall.
well, somebody's in the workroom.
Someone's in
Okay.
Eddie's
my,
old
in,
office.
in my old office.
Hey, I'm still in here.
Yeah.
We closed.
So
it.
you got
Anyway.
a little limited amount of time here. So
I do. So let's
What time
start.
do you need to go?
Around what? It's just because I have to be productive today.
Okay. So
wait,
Greg.
one last thing, current or relevant to community. You are involved with the local girls softball, Rogers Otsego Softball Association. Is that what
yes,
it's called? Rosa?
otherwise known as Rosa.
Rosa, yeah. Other than you hosting them so they could try on uniforms here sometimes, what else are you doing? Are you coaching?
No,
Is Ben coaching?
he's an assistant coach.
Okay.
We don't
Assistant
want,
to the
and
assistant
we're
coach?
also. Do you know what? Assistant to the assistant coach.
Okay.
No, he's an actual assistant coach.
Okay.
But we're also doing our pictures here.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where?
we just love Northridge.
Where are the pictures going to be?
In the great room.
Like what kind of backdrop you got? You got your own
We are
Rosa?
using Sportsline, and they
Bring their own
yeah,
stuff?
they
Okay,
just bring their own
that's cool.
stuff.
Do they do those cool ones with like
Yes.
cool lighting with the powder and all that stuff? and-
No,
yeah.
not the powder.
Well, powder or water. They
Or
have all
whatever,
these
yeah,
action-
yeah.
crazy
I
action
think they can
shots.
do that stuff. They're not going to do that
okay.
stuff.
They're just
But
kind of normal.
we haven't asked for that kind of stuff because that's extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be a cleaning fee.
Yeah, that would definitely be a cleaning fee, and I'm not aware that we're doing that.
No.
Nobody told me.
Yeah, some of those shots are pretty
with it.
sweet.
Those are really
cool.
sweet. It's
They're
really
really cool.
awesome to watch, like the videos of how they do those too. Super cool.
yeah.
I love the ones with the like fire, where
Yeah.
they like will light a basketball on fire. Oh my goodness, those are so cool.
They are cool.
Yeah. They should light
They're
a
very
bat
cool.
on fire and be like,
They do those.
But what's new with Rosa?
Okay,
Softball.
we have like the most girls playing softball than we ever have before. There's like 6 10U teams.
Wow.
So 65 girls are playing,
under 10.
10 and under
Wow.
softball.
Wow.
Yeah. I think we have more 12 and under girls playing. Last year we had 3 teams, and this year we have 4 teams.
That's crazy. It's
I know.
so big.
The softball in Rogers is huge. It's getting to be a pretty big deal, and we have a pretty good program. I don't take any credit for it because I know nothing about softball. I just know how to make things look good.
Do you grew up swimming?
I
You
was a swimmer.
You didn't do softball at all?
No,
or
I
Little
don't
League or
like
anything?
balls.
Yeah.
No, balls are dangerous.
Yeah. Water's not. You're right. There's
No.
nothing bad that could happen.
Well,
if
it doesn't
you
like
get tired in the water.
it doesn't break
As far as I
you.
know, all drownings happen in water.
100% of drownings.
Drowning, I
Or
think
water
it
involved.
just just feels like you're sleeping if you drown. It doesn't feel like you've been hit.
Yeah, it's
you
still
make it
like
sound
the
so
worst way
nice.
to die, I think.
Well, you know, I mean, do we know if it's the worst way to die?
But you also don't die from getting hit by a pitch.
That you know of. Do you know who gets by pitches hit all the time? Kira. Kira.
Really? I
Oh
used
my
to.
goodness.
I used to all the
Get
time,
out of the
too.
way?
No, she's just short.
Does she crowd the plate?
No, I think
I used
it's
to.
honest
I
to
used to get hit
goodness
all the
because
time.
she's shorter than the other people on her team.
Maybe.
So pitchers at her age, they have a hard time adjusting.
They're smaller
Asher
strike
got
zone.
hit his first ever time ever batting ever.
And he's like, I'm done.
Hit in the kneecap.
Ooh.
And he didn't know what to do because he didn't like play baseball much. He wasn't into it. And then he just played because all his friends did a couple years ago at school. First at bat, boom, right in the knee.
Did he?
No, he was just like, what's that all about? Like, what's this? And then the umpire's like, you go to first, you get your base. And then he's like, all right. He ran down to first. That was it. The guy didn't throw fast or anything. So
Yeah, I am amazed. Like, I'm amazed by when the girls keep going. Bless you.
No, girls are way tougher than boys.
Kendall hit a line drive. I wasn't there to see it, but she hit a line drive, and the pitcher didn't. I think she froze. She didn't move out of the way, and she just took it in like the chest. And Kendall like stood there, and Kendall's coach was like, "Run!"
And then the kid probably kept playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless she kept pitching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. I mean, gosh, that would have been. Ugh. Yeah, the bruises those kids have. Kendall got a black eye because she wasn't wearing her face mask.
Do you guys travel at all?
Yes.
Yet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's where it starts to get pricey and
Rosa does a pretty
Time.
The time is insane. Rosa
Yeah.
does a really good job of keeping it very like affordable. Actually,
Not insane.
it's not insane. No, Tim and Joni Freeberg, who like kind of oversee everything, that's like their goal is to make it very affordable.
Shout out to the Freebirds.
Shout out to the Freebergs.
sweet. Mm-hmm. Good job, Freebergs.
Yep.
So you're just like if you have a weekend tournament, it's local. Mm-hmm. Like it might be out of town, but it's like neighboring towns. It's not like you're driving to Iowa or
No, yeah, we don't do that.
yeah.
Or even like Rochester.
Because travel ball,
No,
I'm sure you do get like
You
Kendall, like once you get into middle school and like beyond.
It
So
can.
it's,
It
so it's
can be.
mostly like within the
Yeah.
the Minneapolis loop area.
Yeah, Kira has she has a tournament in Baldwin, and Kendall that same weekend has a tournament in Hopkins.
Like Baldwin, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Wow.
So that will be. I don't know.
I like Baldwin,
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna.
Where is
split.
Baldwin?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
I know that.
It's
So
over.
if you go up in about
Yeah.
45 minutes on 35 or not 35, whatever that would be,
But it's not
and then
it's north of Stillwater, or St. Croix
Yeah,
Falls, like
yeah, it's a little bit north
over
of
there.
that.
Okay.
You could actually go through that way and then go north a little bit.
That's where Kira's
It's about
state.
an hour and a half.
I think
right?
her state her state tournament was there, so, and we drove back and
State
forth.
tournaments in a different state.
I know, isn't that funny? They're part of Minnesota.
They used
Baldwin.
to have an A&W restaurant, fast food restaurant in Baldwin.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have it anymore, but
We
used to
went
go
to
to
the
a camp
Culvers.
not too far away
They
from
have one in Nisswa.
Nisswa.
They do.
Yeah.
We-
A&W?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where?
It's like in that little like village, that little like shopping
Mm-hmm.
boutique area. So if you're going up, is that 370 or what's that? highway?
371.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then you
that's where I
Go
go.
off to the right. I know. That's why I can't believe you don't know that.
Nisswa.
How do I know that? You don't know that. Anyway.
That's because I just buzz by that stuff.
He doesn't care,
Yeah. When
All right.
It's only for tourists.
like you.
It's fine.
Actually, there's a really good restaurant down Main Street in Nisswa.
Can't afford to live in that area.
Yeah.
No,
It's like
Neither can
take
I.
Hawaii trips and
just go
stuff. You could do it, man.
you could.
You could.
You could take us all. You could take us all to A&W.
Oh, at A&W, I can do that.
Rich Cook made Andy feel like he was a rich guy.
That was
He
the
was-
best.
Like Andy's just got all this money because he went to Hawaii.
Some people got uncomfortable for me. I could care less. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was
funny.
epic.
Yeah, I thought. Well, and in the 10:30 service, my buddy Luke, who went to Hawaii with me,
yeah.
he was there. Well, you know Amy.
Yep.
So yeah, their whole family. It's funny because they came and sat up right in the front
I
row,
know.
right in front of me, and I started, while we're singing the song, I just threw my foot out there, and I'm like, "Well, now you're gonna have to sing louder." That was fun.
All right.
That's what happens when you're late. You get put in the front row.
Yeah, that happened to us
There's
recently.
always room in the front.
Always room, like right up front.
Yeah. So, Greg, what do you got?
Text from Jordan.
A text from Jordan. Read it.
All
Read
right.
it now. Just kidding.
Today's Pi Day.
Pi Day.
Oh, are you going to say
March
your
14th.
pie chart thing?
What? A pizza is an always accurate pie chart for how much pizza is left. These two don't get why that's funny and amusing.
I cut my pizza into squares.
Well, that's weird.
Apparently, it's bizarre.
Yeah, it's like you probably also take like
I cut mine in
when you
little
have a nice
miniature
like
circles.
apple pie, you probably take a little square out of the middle.
Anybody
No,
cut
but
their
that's a
pizza in
great idea.
squirrels? Or
Circles, squirrels.
Squirrel.
Circles?
You cut your pizza in circles?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but in honor of Pi Day,
The Christmas
being March
cookie cutter
14th.
shapes. That's what I.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to do Pi Day. March 17th, Sunday,
Ah,
St. Patrick's,
St. Patrick's Day.
yeah.
My sister was in Ireland for St. Patrick's
Really?
Day. Yes.
Day. Cool.
Anyways, go on.
Maybe she
My
will get
brother
some of these
hates
questions
St. Patrick's Day because in Savannah, it's like Mardi Gras
right. Yeah.
for St. Patrick's Day.
Really?
There's millions of people.
In Savannah?
In Savannah, Georgia, millions of
Savannah's
people.
probably an Irish name.
Okay, but I would not think that that would be like a big Irish.
I guess not. I guess so. But yeah, and he's in a restaurant that's on the outskirts of Savannah, and it's never busy. Whereas if you're downtown, it's just slam packed.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not excited about this weekend.
I got some facts. Fact or fiction?
Factoids.
Oh, okay, go.
Fact or
Trivia
fiction.
about St. Patrick, the man that I don't know if you know this. St. Patrick's Day, named after a real guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was
Fact.
he was a saint.
Fact.
Not like Christmas.
Oh,
After,
Fact. Go.
was that the first one? Fact.
not like
Oh.
Valentine's. Saint, is there a Saint? Yeah.
Yes, there's a
I
Saint
know,
Valentine.
I share that. This is the first year in a long time I share that meme about him. Like, he was like a violent person.
Yeah.
There's a CrossFit competition called the Valentine's Day Massacre.
Really?
Yeah. I almost did it.
St. Patrick. Some of this is commonly known or unknown or not known about St. Patrick. Maybe it's news to some, maybe it's not. Maybe this is a huge waste of time. But I am a fan of St. Patrick.
Okay.
I'm a little
And so I'm going to ask a couple
Intrigued
questions. You
and-
tell me if it's fact or fiction.
okay.
How many questions are there?
I don't know. As many as
As many as
probably
you
like 4 or
feel
5.
like? Okay.
Maybe 10.
That stretch.
I have to crack. Oh, that felt good. That was a good crack.
Fact
Okay,
or
next.
fiction? St. Patrick. I'll start with an easy one. St.
Oh.
Patrick was an Irishman.
Oh, I bet this is fiction.
Fact.
I didn't know there was gambling involved, but you bet. Okay.
I'm just gonna say
How much
whatever
would you
opposite
bet?
she says.
Fiction.
Fiction.
Fact.
Does fiction mean true or not true?
Not true.
Fact or never mind. It is fiction. He is not Irish, Andy.
Because he was a missionary.
Do you
I
know
bet.
where he was born?
No.
England.
No one really knows.
Oh.
It was Britain, but that's vague. There are some that say it was maybe in the south of Scotland, some that say it was in Wales.
It's got a wee bit of Scotch.
He might be Welsh, he might be Scotch, but he's not Irish.
Not Irish.
Okay, and that's it. That's all I got. No. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
All right. So,
what a
do you
great-
know what his original name was? What fact or fiction? His original name was Patrick.
I don't know. I think that's probably fact.
Fiction.
Not.
Fiction, because that would be like his last name.
Would it?
I don't know.
Like Robert Patrick, the actor
Oh,
from Terminator 2. Is that Robert Patrick?
Like his last name?
T2,
Patrick?
yeah.
I have no idea.
Patrick was not his original name.
Yeah.
His original name is Maywin. M-A-E.
Maywin.
M-A-E-W-Y-N.
Maywin.
I don't know how you say this last name. Succat? S-U-C-C-A-T.
yeah, Sukkot.
Succat. His parents, by the way, were Romanized.
Okay.
He was born in Brits, but they were like Romanized and like whatever. Anyway. So
And it's a M-A-E?
M-A-E-W-Y-N.
Maywin.
Maywin.
It's like a
He
girl's
picked
name.
up Patrick because or patricus is a Latin word that means nobleman. Nobleman. So anyway,
Interesting.
but could also be interpreted as father figure. So maybe the moniker maybe was given to him later, Patrick. Anyway, all right. So Patrick was born in Britain and raised and lived a productive life into adulthood in Britain. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Bert says fact. What say you, Mr. Schultz?
I'll say fact.
Fact? You're both wrong.
What?
Jeez Louise.
False.
No, at the age of 16, Patrick was kidnapped.
What?
Yeah. You didn't know this?
No. Did
Patrick?
you know this?
I think I remember
Was a
this
fan
from a few years ago.
Not a
when-
fan, a victim of human trafficking. He was a victim of human trafficking. He was kidnapped and taken into what is
Who was the first
Ireland.
individual that was a victim of human trafficking?
Joseph.
Am I supposed to know
Is that
this?
who you're thinking of?
Yeah, I'm just trying
Is
to.
there one further
I'm
back?
terrible about the dates in the Bible. I know all the stories in the Old Testament, but like the order of them, sometimes I get
Okay.
messed up. Like Moses,
Because he
was
came.
that after?
Yeah,
Joseph?
yeah,
Yeah.
because the tribes.
Okay, you're right.
So Patrick, at the age of 16, was kidnapped by marauders or someone.
Oh.
So a group of folks from that's how he ended up in Ireland.
I was going to ask
What
if
would
that's
be
how he
Ireland,
ended up there.
captured by slave traders. He's shipped across
Were they
to Ireland to
leprechauns?
work on a
You
farm
get
with
kidnapped
cattle.
by leprechauns?
No,
Oh,
I believe these were
Are real live people.
real.
Don't
Leprechauns
tell.
aren't real.
No.
It's
He
news to
worked.
me.
He worked with cattle on a farm for about 6 years, on his own. I've read about him. This is actually where some of his connection with God became real to him, because he's big into nature, and he would be out in the
Kinda
fields
like-
with
kinda
cattle,
like
and he
David.
just had a connection with God through nature. And but for about 6 years, he worked as a slave.
Did his parents not come try to find him? Or did they know where he was?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't know. They didn't have the internet, and they couldn't just like
You should have hired the tracker.
didn't have private investigators. I don't know.
Have you seen that show?
The Tracker. I heard
No.
it's pretty bad.
It's okay.
With the guy
It's
from
the dude
This Is
from
Us,
This Is
Manny.
Us. Yeah.
Oh.
Someone said it was really the first episode was pretty bad.
This
I
is
didn't
us
mind.
guy,
I
yeah.
didn't mind.
Rubel, I think, is the one that said that.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
he's got bad.
he's
taste.
gone now. We could talk bad.
He's got
about
bad
him.
taste.
I believe it was Andy.
I like
Anyway,
that you looked where he was.
so fact or fiction? He heard voices and saw visions.
I think that's true.
Yeah, that's true. It's not really a good question. It was just, but it kind of leads into
I didn't
this
even get to answer.
connection with God.
Fiction.
I'm answering for you. So he claims in his own writing to have heard voices from God and visions. He would receive visions from God, and said that he actually had a visit from an angel. At one
I'm
point
still saying fiction. It never happened.
that told him, the angel gave him a message, or maybe this one was a vision that he had in a dream or something like that, some kind of dream or vision, God telling him that he would escape with a boat, and there would be a boat waiting for him. And I forgot how
Was there a
ridiculous
boat?
amount of time, like mileage it was, or distance from where he was to the shore, but he went and there was a boat there. And that's how he escaped. And he ended up in Europe. That's where he did like 15 years of study, became study
Well,
of the
isn't
Bible.
Scotland in Europe?
Ireland.
Or Ireland?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I meant like mainland Europe,
Okay.
like France area. But and then returned, got another message from an angel that he should return to Ireland. But he had this burden. He, in his own writing, he feels that the reason he was kidnapped and sold into slavery was because of a sin of his past, something he did wrong. He never elaborated on what that was. But in his own writing, he said he believes that was the reason why he found himself in that circumstance.
Interesting.
And then he was well into adulthood. Some say he was maybe in his even early 40s before he even went back to Ireland. And then he went to Ireland to evangelize, and he brought the gospel to Ireland. And so there's legends that spring up around St. Patrick, and when you hear all about these legends, and we talk about them around St. Patrick's Day, one of which was that he drove all the snakes out of Ireland.
Yes.
Fact or fiction?
I think
That it's an actual legend,
Yeah.
or that he actually did
That
it.
he did it. That he drove the
I
snakes
think he
out
did
of
it
Ireland.
because that's what
I'm
the
gonna
whole
say
holiday.
fiction.
That's the whole holiday is based on that.
Is it? I thought it was just based on wearing green and
Yeah, but the whole,
drinking
like-
too much green
But
beer.
I think, but you have to have like, in order to become a saint, you have to have things.
Done
that-
something righteous.
You
No,
have
like
two
miracles.
and
Yeah,
something else. And
that people have to like witness.
maybe that was like a miracle documented, or maybe part
Yeah,
of the
that is a
legend.
good point. Who knows? I
But
don't.
most believe that's fiction.
Oh.
There were never ever snakes in
We're
Ireland.
tied.
I was gonna ask. I was just going to ask, how bad were these snakes in Ireland?
Many people think it's fiction. Like most, what are the like archaeologists and like there's no evidence of snakes ever being in Ireland.
That's what I was going
Are
to say.
they
It's too
spiritual
cold.
snakes?
That's what they think. It's like
Mm.
figurative language. Like he
it's too
like
cold in
drove
Ireland.
like sinful behavior or like the like a lot of barbarism and like crazy stuff out. And so because I read a book in seminary actually on the whole the intro, like first chapter was about his life, and then it was about evangelism. But what he did would he would evangelize different tribes, and he would go into like a little tribal community and basically evangelize the chief of that community, and then
a good
everyone else
strategy.
just kind of followed.
Yeah,
So
it's a good strategy.
and he moved from town to town or whatever. So that's kind of where the legend of drove all the snakes came from is more figurative.
Okay.
Like Christian symbology.
Symbology.
Symbology. I didn't even know
What
that was
about
a word.
this? Fact or fiction? He popular. How do you say that word?
Popularized.
The shamrock.
Shamrock shake.
Like he used the
Or the
three
four-leaf
Oh,
clover.
that's fact
clover shamrock
to explain the Trinity.
To explain the Trinity.
Fact.
Is it
Fact.
though?
Yes.
I don't know. He's never written about
You
it.
do know.
We
Because
don't.
you have the answer in front of you.
He might have. It's neither.
It's
Or both.
who knows?
We're not sure. He may have. Legend says that he used it as a tool to teach the Irish pagans about Christianity and that he used to wear a shamrock too, but there's no evidence that he wore that or that he actually did use it to explain the Trinity, but
It makes
what
you
they-
wonder how those legends like get started though. Like, did somebody at some point in time maybe see him,
Maybe.
wearing a shamrock?
how about last one? He loved the color green. He wore green all the time, like we do on St. Patrick's
I think
Day.
that's true because he loved nature.
Yeah, probably fact.
Fiction. Blue.
Blue.
His color was blue. I'm
Then where
I'm
did
serious.
green come from?
Some think it's just like because it's more of the color of Ireland, and having to do with nature because Ireland is like it's called the Green Island, right? Like the Emerald Island.
It
right?
is, it is.
Lots of green.
And
I've
it is
never
very-
been there. I've just seen pictures.
My sister and her family lived there for 6 months, and it is
Really?
very green.
Yeah.
It's because it's always like misty.
It is. Mm-hmm.
No, but apparently blue was his color of choice for clothing.
Do you know what's really interesting? My niece was telling me we were listening to like classic like 90s radio and Zombie came on and
Cranberries.
Cranberries
Great
and
song.
She was Irish.
Helena my niece was like she's like we heard this in I forget what she called it. It was basically the town squares where they would have musicians would be out and like I guess in every single corner they would be like playing
In
this
Ireland?
in Ireland they would be playing Zombie.
Zombie, really?
Well, that one,
They got so sick of U2, they had to find another Irish band.
that one movie where that singer-songwriter guy, he's a street musician, and then he meets this woman who's a
Yeah.
piano player. What's that called?
Dang it.
It's a great little movie. But
A Star is Born?
No.
No. I was like, what?
Oh, what's that movie? Swell Season is the name of his band. And his name too. Oh,
Once.
yeah.
Yeah.
There it
It's
is.
a great movie.
It
I've
is.
never seen
You
it.
should see it.
I should see
Yeah.
it.
It's a good movie.
I believe I told you about that movie.
No.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
I
I
watched it years before I knew you.
I asked you if you've ever seen that movie. When you played a song, I said it. I think whoever wrote that song was listening to that song that's popular in the movie once, and you're like, huh, never seen it. And I told you about it.
This is awkward.
Fact or fiction, Bert? So I like that we have so much stuff built around St.
Fighting with
Patrick
my
that's
work
not true.
husband.
I know. Oh.
And we have a holiday that we, for some reason, celebrate. And I don't know, maybe this, if your sister lived there, maybe this is fact or fiction. It's not even as big a holiday in Ireland as it is here.
Oh, no, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
I heard like here it's a much bigger deal.
Here it's
In Savannah, it is.
No, I think
Well, like
no, it is-
Chicago, they dye the Chicago River green. Boston has the big parade. New York too, I think.
They should start dyeing it blue now.
They
since
should.
That was his
So
favorite
it's,
color.
since it was his favorite color. No, it is still a really big holiday, but I think it's more. It has more like reverence over there, and here it's more of a
Party.
party
Are
holiday.
you saying that
It-
the Americans have taken something and destroyed
it's-
it?
I know that it's surprising to you, Greg, but
you
yes,
anti-American, Greg?
No, I am one. I can't be against myself. I'm just
Would this
saying
be
we
a good-
have a long history.
Would this be a good movie?
Of
or a
taking
TV
things
series
like-
if they made something out of St. Patrick's
it would
life?
be. I think
Maywin's life.
Maywin.
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 Maywin. They call it
What was his
Maywin.
name? Succat.
Suckath.
Succat.
Suckath.
Succat.
They call it
Succat.
Maywin.
Maywin.
Yeah, and then it's like more.
Cool name.
cryptic
It sounds elvish.
It
Doesn't
does. It does.
It sounds like he'd be a Lord of the Rings person. But it got me thinking. So he was. It is fact. He was kidnapped. That's we know. True story. He was kidnapped as a teenager, taken to Ireland as a slave.
His
So,
poor mom and dad.
his poor parents.
What became of them?
Who knows?
They're
Not part of the
They're
story.
not important, apparently.
But it got me thinking because he's kidnapped and for 6 years worked as a slave and then escaped. And then years later goes back to the people. By the way, while he was kidnapped, learned the language, learned the culture, all that stuff. Goes back to them to evangelize them. Not to take out revenge, but to bring the gospel. And so it had me thinking about how we respond in difficult circumstances. In circumstances not of our own doing that we find are unjust, unfair, and how we respond. And so what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Just kidding.
I didn't know I
And
was
how
signing
did you
up
reply?
for this.
No, I'm just joking. No, for any of us. Like, I don't know, has there been a time where you found yourself in like seemingly a horrible situation? And it doesn't have to be super serious, but I'm just really moved by that. Like, we could say, okay, it was well into adulthood, so I'm sure he went through seasons of anger and, grief and wanting maybe to take out, take vengeance on his captors and all that stuff. I would imagine that's like human emotions. But at some point, he moved past that and instead brought the message of Christ. And I don't know. I just thought that'd be cool to talk about.
I
Like,
think so too.
we are told to persevere, like consider it pure joy in James, like when we find ourselves in all sorts of circumstances, and when we persevere through them. So, perseverance is a big deal, but there's also a bigger goal on the other side of that perseverance. Our faith is strengthened through it, but then what?
I think you're strengthened as a human being, and I think you have more empathy,
Yeah.
to help others.
Yeah.
I think, though, what do I think? Okay, let me think.
Andy can chime in too.
No,
Andy's-
most of the bad things that have happened to me have been my own fault.
That's probably true for most of us.
I mean, I honestly, I
Or
think-
our own bad decisions led us to something bad.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe the final, like a big thing was by the hands of someone else, but our own decisions got us there.
It's
Like,
either the way that I think about the world and life, and I don't put as much intense energy into something that I know is completely out of my control, and I don't blame God or anything
Yeah.
like that. But when that's different than like I made this decision and it turned out horrible, but that's my own stupid fault. Most of the majority of even the like mildly mid bad things that have happened to me. I mean, it's been my problem, and I don't know. I'm really #blessed. I mean, honestly,
Dude.
it's I've had a pretty awesome life.
It's funny you said #blessed because I have an amazing Facebook memory of something from Evan that was today. So anyway, I'll show
And
you
he said
later.
#blessed.
It was a blessed thing. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, I mean, part of any situation you find yourself in is your faith can be tested. Well, I mean, our faith is tested to some degree, no matter like if we're in a bad situation. But part of how we react in that situation is the faith that you had before, right? And so, I remember Cal Saylor said something like that. No, I'm going to butcher it, but that's essentially what he was saying. That you're only as strong as the faith that you had before. When you go through a trial, like you're only as strong as the faith that you have going in. So like in the middle of a trial of some sort or some sort of difficult situation, it's really hard to like develop really good faith at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta have faith going in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like the idea that you have to hit bottom, like I get it, but like what got you to that bottom, you know?
Right.
I think when you go through a circumstance with the faith that you had before you hit that circumstance, it can expand it, but usually that takes place afterward. You know, you look back and you're like, okay, now I think I've grown because of that moment, circumstance. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Well, because so to your point, like, because I can think of other people who have had it far worse.
Right.
Right.
So many.
And you look at them and you wonder, how do you persist? And you keep going. And I mean, really, it is all about like putting one foot in front of the other. And usually, it seems like the people who succeed are the ones who have a faith to rely on. Because either way, you're going to need some type of a crutch to get you through that. And so some people turn to other things to help kind of drown out just how hopeless life can feel. But if your hope is in Christ, then you have something that's stronger to hold on to.
Well, and to your point, people have a tendency to turn to something to just forget.
Yes.
They don't face things head on.
Right.
Where I think when you do have that hope in Christ, and you do have a strength that comes from somewhere outside of yourself, facing the things head on and going through it instead of around it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it's easier, but there's a certain strength that you get because of your trust in God, and that somewhere on the other side of this, it's going to be all right.
Well, you're going to have to face it either way. I mean, through my extensive therapy that I do, I mean, my therapist is always...
You were laughing. I wasn't sure to laugh.
You can totally laugh. I'm in a good place now. We can laugh.
That's good.
But my therapist is always saying, that we need to... at some point in time, you're going to have to come... If you've been avoiding something for so long, you eventually have to come face to face with it, because you can only avoid feelings and something that you have been trying to shove down and ignore for so long. Eventually it comes to the surface. And so a lot of what I have realized is when something is bothering me or I'm feeling a particular way, like I just need to say it. Or as Becky, my therapist, will say, she'll say, okay, now sit with it, like sit with the feeling and acknowledge it.
Right.
And usually that's all I need to do. And then I can move on.
There's something that like that feeling or that deal or moment loses kind of power when you just are willing to just sit with it. Mm-hmm. Or the perceived power that you're letting it have over yourself, Mm-hmm.
My kid's doctor has a sign in her office that says feelings are never final.
I like that.
It's like her, what do you call that? Those little black with the white letters with the blackboard. You could move the letters around.
Letterboards.
Letterboard. Oh, it's that simple.
What's that?
What's that board with the
blackboard
letters?
With the letters?
Letterboard. I don't know.
Yeah, letterboard.
Feelings are never final. Yeah, she has it on there, but she hasn't moved it. It's been up there for a long time. She hasn't changed anything around. But yeah, that sticks with me because it's, yeah, you could sit with it now and know that it's not going to be like forever. So, you mentioned something, Bert, too, is like your outlook in the midst of it is important. And that it reminded me of Viktor, I think you said it's Frankl. He was a Jewish Holocaust survivor and psychologist that wrote Man's Search for Meaning. That was his conclusion. Like when he was observing and looking around during, like in concentration camps, is like the people that were doing well had a belief in God, essentially, or their relationship with Him was close, and they had something to believe in. The ones that didn't quickly folded, and so it's like that's again shows the power of the strength going. Like, start building your faith now, like build into it every day. But like you go into a circumstance only armed with the faith that you have. So
would you say the saying, God only gives you, as much as you can handle?
false.
But it's kind of true if you think about it, because you go into it really with the faith that you have.
No, but He's given you something.
Well,
So
I
that
don't think he's
it
actually.
would require
point.
that you would depend on Him.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Sorry, we felt like
No,
we
that's what I was
I
gonna
felt
say.
like we ganged up on you.
No. I don't believe that he
Okay.
does give you.
We preached on that a couple of years ago.
I know. I remember that. I liked that
Say
series.
what? Was it?
Say what?
I
Yeah.
liked that.
Yeah,
Was
all
a
those
good
like
series.
yeah, that was
The cliches. I liked it.
because we're full of them. I'm sure I'm guilty of saying them.
I
daily.
try so hard not to say that all the goopy Christian
I
cliches.
don't like
stuff.
to say.
Well, I try not to say the popular Christian ones, but I'm sure I have my
Especially
own
up
that are
like up
untrue.
in front. I will never.
Yeah.
I don't even like repeating song lyrics because I feel like that's cliche. Like if I'm talking and we just need to, the battle just belongs to the Lord, or something like that. I try not to do that kind of stuff.
See, that wouldn't even dawn on me that that's a song lyric, but it totally is.
Yeah, Phil Wickham, right?
Yeah, Wickham. Wickham.
Wickham.
Cool.
Wickham? Is it a Wickham?
Wickham.
Or is it no CKM AM?
CKAM.
No, it's not a ham. Wickham.
WHICK.
I didn't know that there was a way to say his name other than
Wickham.
There's
Wickham.
not.
Wickham.
We're just saying because it's WH.
Sukat.
Okay, so one thing that I like doing, and especially more recently, I've always loved revisiting Old Testament. Usually they're Old Testament, but like Sunday school Bible stories that you learn as a kid, and then as an adult, they're so different. Like a few weeks ago, I had Evan. Did you see when Evan and I did a podcast?
I was watching a little bit of it,
Okay.
but I had to go.
So, and he was talking about David and Goliath. Did you see that?
No.
Part? Which is really funny because he's like a Goliath sympathizer. But he's just like, it'd be interesting to know like the day in the life of Goliath, like a giant. Like, does he always hit his head on the door frame
He
when he's walking?
brings up a good point.
Like, but we were talking about how David knocked him down with the saw. I'm like, but that's not how he killed him. He killed him. He cut off his head. And he's like, what? Like he didn't know that because we don't teach that to little kids
Nope,
in Sunday
we do
school.
not.
But, and this is why it's relevant to this our conversation is Jonah, the story of Jonah. As a kid, you think, oh my goodness, he's swallowed by a big fish, like that's scary and horrible. But if you go back and read it as an adult,
Which I have not done
Jonah
recently.
1:16, after he's been thrown overboard. Start with 15. It says, they took Jonah and threw him overboard, and the raging sea grew calm. In verse 16, it says, at this, the men greatly feared the Lord, and they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows to him. Okay? Then the next verse. Now the Lord provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah. The Lord provided a huge fish. So it wasn't like,
Like a scary.
not the scary thing. That's
No.
how God rescued him from drowning. And but he provided
Perspective.
the fish.
Perspective is everything.
And Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. To
Do you
where,
think that the stomach acid bothered him?
I don't know, but
That's
Do you
always-
think it was flammable?
Jonah bothered the fish's stomach because it threw him up,
Spit him up. Yeah.
Yeah.
spit him out on the shore. Sure, but I mean, it's interesting when you read that. Oh, wait, God provided the fish for Jonah.
Right.
So sometimes God gives us a bad situation to take us out of a even worse situation.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's hard because we might not see the worst situation at the time.
No.
So I don't know.
No.
That's all I got today,
That's a
so.
good point.
It's good. Do you
Now-
think there's any connection between Jonah and Pinocchio?
Yes.
Probably.
If you asked Jordan Peterson, he probably would say yes.
Oh.
He has a huge dissertation about
I bet he does.
Pinocchio and,
He'll probably talk for 3 hours on.
and fighting
Boy.
the battle of in the belly of the beast, and your relationship with your father and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. It's past my time. I have to go.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have to go make videos
cool,
and marketing stuff.
fun.
Well, you're good at that. So
Well,
it should be
it's
all
my
right.
job. So it was fun, fellas.
Yeah,
She
thanks for
liked
stopping
she
by.
liked my. Was that a story?
Yes.
Sunday morning.
That
Can I remember what it
Sunday
was?
school Bible stories with
Yeah.
Greg, the
'Cause
adult
I was
perspective.
telling last week. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just so bad at like stories and like Facebook and like thinking about doing that more often with the church stuff. And then we had the big coffee cups. I was like, perfect, daylight savings, big coffee cups.
I liked your story. It was good.
The big coffee cups was kind of a mistake, ordered by accident, but the best possible Sunday to
Bring him out.
order those by accident.
You feel
So,
like you've unaffected by the time change?
No.
No, you are affected by the time
My
change?
family was.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Kira was a hot mess.
yeah,
Sunday morning or like all week?
Monday. Like she
like
could not.
well into it. Like our kids, the
She
sleep
seemed
is still
fine on
messed up.
Sunday.
She was fine on Sunday, but Monday she could not.
She was all chatty and
She couldn't go to sleep until like 11 on Monday night. Oh, it was bad.
It's hard because it's light later, and so they're used to like it's not getting dark till
Mm-hmm.
off 7 now ish around there. So the body clock hasn't caught up yet. Like, it's bedtime.
Apparently,
Right.
we're talking about getting rid of it.
They do all the time.
Every year.
Right around when everyone's complaining about the time change, and then nothing happens. You know what dawned on me finally this time is in the fall they always talk about, well, we still need it because it's too dark in the morning for the kids
Right.
walking to school or walking to the bus stop. But it's like right now it's still dark after 7 in the morning.
I know. That's what Kendall said.
Like
she was like,
every
it's still
single
dark.
kid for middle school and high school is at or walking to the bus.
Yeah.
No, it's still
is
dark.
that the only reason? It's
That's
like,
what
at
the
this point, that's like
justification
the
is.
biggest-
Yes.
big of a deal.
That's the
Yes.
biggest argument at
Is
this
it?
point.
As
Yes.
a parent, that's a big deal for you. Their kids going to the bus stop when
Well,
it's
my
dark.
kid's bus stop is right outside our door, so
Right.
no.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I mean,
I don't know.
first of all, busing is way down. So, like a lot more kids don't ride the bus than I don't know,
Yeah.
but whatever.
You got to go.
It's
I
not
do
worth
have to
it.
go.
The most heart attacks
Goodbye,
statistically
friends.
the day after daylight savings.
Oh, so that's Jordan Peterson in Minneapolis. I'm really
Really? Just
jealous.
now? Just saw him? See it? Thanks, Bert. It's loud. It
Yeah,
sounds
that's
like
okay.
either a TIE fighter or Chewbacca, depending on. That was more a Chewbacca, I think. That's TIE fighter. Maybe it's the direction.
All right.
That's
enough
Chewbacca
of-
flying a
enough
TIE
of that.
fighter. Saw Jordan Peterson, or just some other person? I
Maybe it's
guarantee
just-
there's 15 Jordan Petersons.
Maybe it was just
If
Jeremy.
you search
Jeremy Peterson.
Facebook. Hey, we're going over to their place for dinner on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I talked
Miss
to
the
him on
Peterson
the
family.
phone on Monday.
cool. Thanks, Bert.
See you,
Goodbye.
Bert.
You're way cooler than Mike, by the way.
I'm excited to get my boat out of storage for the fishing season so I can do some fishing with Liam. And we're going to take
Oh, yeah.
Asher.
Asher went fishing Sunday.
Oh, he did?
His buddy's house. Yeah.
At the pond.
Maple
Yeah,
Grove.
how'd that go?
Catch
anything?
No, they didn't catch anything. I guess his friend's dad caught like a couple of crappies or something, or sunnies or something. I don't know. Is that how you say it? Sunnies?
Sunfish. Do you know how many different types of sunfish there are?
Not a clue.
Yeah. Okay.
There's more than one?
There is.
Really? Like how many?
At least 3.
Really?
4. Bluegill, pumpkin seed.
Oh, bluegills? I didn't know it was a sunfish.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they're all kind of in that
Pumpkin?
pumpkin seed.
Pumpkin seed?
Yeah. They're all part of that same family.
Never heard of that. What's the other one?
I said bluegill.
Yeah.
Huh? Rubel.
Come on, Rubel. Come on. Come on. This is Get to Know Andy Rubel. He's got popper. You got sound effects? That's going to be annoying on a
There's
microphone.
green sunfish, warmouth, pumpkin seed, red breasts,
Rubel, you would know
orange
this.
spotted,
I'm a ghost.
orange spotted
There's a delay, dude.
reindeer.
There you come.
Is it on?
Bluegill.
No,
you
you
got
gotta
to
flip it
turn
on.
it on.
Now you got to hold it aiming at your mouth, close, kind of near your chin. Just,
It's on.
it's coming.
They let me on,
There you
folks.
go. They let
the last time.
Finally.
First and
Camera's right
last.
First and last.
Never get. All right, this
The
has been
first
Andy
become
Rubel.
last,
We'll see you,
last
Andy.
become
I got my
first.
finger on the mute button.
Now, no pressure.
What are we
I
doing
know
now?
there's nobody here with us, but this is going to outer space.
All right, that's enough of that.
Do that. Outer space. I know. Aliens.
It's going and then across the world.
And then
So this
then
is going
across
out
the world?
into the universe.
And then back to
Into
our
space.
computers.
And then
and
back into our computers. And it does all that in
Magic.
only 10 seconds, which is
Magic.
It
pretty
is-
amazing.
The internet is magical.
so
All right, now what?
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? I'm just kidding.
Me personally or family?
Andy and I went last Wednesday to Omni. This
Oh, yeah.
podcast is brought to you by
Sponsored?
What have
I don't
we
think
had
we're
so
getting
far?
sponsored.
so far I mentioned Centercut, DiMaggio's, and now Omni.
Centercut.
No. Do you think anybody at Omni is listening?
Omni Brewery in Maple Grove.
It's also brought to you
Osseo.
by
Osseo.
Me Before Mom podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have Bert
should
mentioned
have
her
plugged
podcast.
it.
Me Before Mom
Yeah.
is her
New
podcast.
season coming
you can
out.
find it, and she's all over social media and does some really good stuff. So, but Omni does like a lot of community or service projects, and it's not Omni Brewing, it's Omni Doing Company.
Omni doing.
But I got a sponsored Facebook ad a couple weeks ago about Seinfeld trivia. I didn't even see where it was. I just saw like Seinfeld trivia. I'm like, hey, that'd be
It's
fun.
listening. Oh,
And
Yeah.
I sent it to Rubel, also Brad Anderson, but he couldn't make it or didn't want to. But I'm pretty sure Brad Anderson is would be
We would have won.
he's like a walking Seinfeld encyclopedia.
he seems like he would be.
Pretty obscure questions. We did not do great. Did we get 12 out of 20?
We got 20. No, we got 13,
13?
points.
Points, but the last round
Was worth 2.
two each.
Yeah.
They had like 4 rounds of 5 questions, but we only got 1 in that section, though, I think. Whatever.
We got 1 or 2. Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't do great. The team that won got like 16 or something. It's not like they.
I
I
saw
like they blew you out of the water.
No,
Yeah.
I heard something
it
about
22?
22 points or something like that.
Oh,
So, anyways, way better than us.
yeah, but
But
it was
you
fun.
missed puzzle night.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm
That
not a
was
puzzle
that
guy.
was also
You got to aim the
Closer
microphone.
to your face.
closer. You gotta hold it. I can't hear, so I don't know
know.
if I'm not
That's why I'm helping.
Just
coming
trust
through.
the people that use the mic.
touching my microphone.
He knows these
Yeah,
things.
the professional. Yes, so puzzle night was a disaster too because we had teams. Echo.
Yeah,
Echo.
see. Now you heard
'Cause-
yourself.
Totally derailed
was
him,
awful.
too. He was
Puzzle
I
night.
know, puzzle night.
This is puzzling.
I'm filibustering again.
Yeah. The filibuster. Yeah.
People finishing a 500-piece puzzle in 30 minutes is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It's you take all the fun out of it.
They should do those ones that don't have any image. They're just white. Have you seen those or black?
I think they should all be border pieces.
or no border pieces.
No, yeah.
Just white with no
Crustless.
border.
Yeah,
Crustless.
you got to start in the middle.
Yeah, that would be crazy. So, if you don't know Andy Rubel, been around Northridge for quite a while.
It's about
Where
as
are you
long
going
as-
with this?
It's about as long as me.
When did you guys start going here in
11?
No, 9.
Oh,
2009?
Before me.
Yeah.
Then. Wow.
2008, 2009, somewhere in there.
We're still in the school, or were they here?
No, they just moved in here for
That was 2010.
this Easter
Okay.
thing.
29, 09.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Yep.
sweet, cool.
Yep. Schultz might have been.
No, I started in
Just
January 2010.
Yeah.
Did you vote against him when they?
We weren't members yet, so we couldn't.
We don't
It was
vote on
kind of
that
a-
anyway. So, but you would have, I bet.
If I could have, yeah. See, Matt had just started too.
Yeah.
Who?
Fontenhauer?
Fontenhauer.
No.
Yeah.
He was a couple years after me.
Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, he had just about to start.
He's getting old.
He's
and
getting
it's
old.
just all the same.
Well,
Back.
who was the
So
kid?
he's
Was
reaching
Dan
back
kids
here.
ministry
Back.
then?
Dan was youth ministry
Youth?
when I first got here.
Youth, kids,
Was
whatever.
Terry doing kids, or is
Yeah,
there someone
Terry.
else doing?
Yeah, Terry was kind of running it, and then shortly after that, not shortly, it was a few years after that, they hired Christina.
No, that was many years after that. That was
Yeah.
years
Wrong
after.
again,
that.
Andy.
They didn't have
That was
anybody
me.
before
They're both
Christina.
old. They're both getting
Both
old.
old and both wrong.
We got Andy's, a couple Andys.
Um,
But Andy is on staff here. What's your title? Like number? I call you money bags, but what's your the finance administrator? Is that what they call you?
Yep.
It's fancy.
Yep.
Financial
It's a nice big title.
finance administrator.
Too. Barely
So
fit on a business card that I don't
basically just like does Excel
Never got a business card.
spreadsheets and what else do you do? That's about it.
have. Yeah, just spreadsheets all day. Yep.
yeah.
Pays our bills for
Yeah.
us,
Pays the bills.
writes checks,
Yeah.
I don't sign them
balances
usually.
the sheet, balance
Balances the
sheets,
books.
books, and
Yeah. These guys are true number
manages the payroll.
guys.
All
Yep.
those
Yep.
cliches.
If I don't do that, man, do I hear.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll hear it if you don't get payroll done.
I don't do that right, and you get everybody mad.
Sweet. Tell us about Ruble. What else do you do? What do you do for fun?
Lots of things.
You're a cyclist.
I'm a cyclist.
Not during this time of year, but in the summer
No, I'm
you
not
ride
that
your
big
bike.
of a cyclist.
You ride your bike to,
I ride
to
the bike
work.
for work. Yeah.
Had to pick you up when you had a flat tire one time.
That was one time, yeah. That wasn't so bad, though. It wasn't raining.
Not for you.
Yeah, it was
I had
sunny
to go
out.
pick you up. I had to. No, it wasn't.
It's all
bad.
part of your
It's in
adult
the, it's in
ministry.
the job description. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Pick up employees when they have a flat in their bike.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, care ministry was going to come get me.
Yeah. Have you ever driven with Doug?
Yes. Yeah.
He's got Speedy on his license plate for a
it
for a
fits.
reason.
For a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what else? What you married? Got a couple of kids? You got, what do you do for fun? What do you guys do around town? Family? What's good in the Ruble house?
Going to the park. I don't know.
Yeah.
Playing with the kids in the yard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
How old is
We
how
got-
old is G-Man?
Oh boy, is this being recorded?
Well, because I think when I first met you guys, Alyssa was either pregnant with him or had just given birth.
Mm-hmm.
Something around there. How old is he?
Very close. He's 12.
12.
He'll be 13 in July.
Okay. So it must have been she was just getting pregnant with him or something.
Make it weird sounding. Just getting pregnant.
You
What?
I can say other things. But yeah, because
Beep.
I've known both of them their whole life. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We're doing a trip this year to Glacier
Nice.
and Yellowstone and the Tetons.
It's a big
So-
trip.
You renting a
just
car
like
again?
Yeah.
Just doing a weekend?
Yeah, just a weekend trip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like the vacation
We don't got
thing.
time to stop. We got to make all these places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look out the window, kids. Put the iPad down. Take
Yeah.
a peek.
Take a peek. Take a
Or
picture.
at least take a picture with the iPad.
Yeah. It's all blurry. We don't have time to stop.
But you guys did a couple years ago. You went out. Where was that?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
We did stop in the Tetons on the way through. We didn't stay. And we'll stay this time for a couple of nights. So that was one of the big reasons why we're doing Yellowstone again is because Yellowstone's on the way to the Tetons from Glacier. So
Okay. Sweet. Mm-hmm. Sounds fun.
It can be like a 2-week thing.
just about, yeah. Yeah.
When are you doing that?
In July.
Oh, okay.
So over Griffin's birthday. Again.
Awesome.
But it's not about his birthday. Even though it really sounds like it is about his birthday. But
Let's have a lot of it gets a little more pricey than you think, and then as a parent, you always have that card to pull. Well, this is part of your birthday.
yeah.
This trip.
Yeah, the whole trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is part of your birthday.
Yeah.
That's like when kids start asking for things like around September, October.
For Christmas.
Well, you got to put that on your Christmas list.
That's
Yeah.
all year round.
Yep. Yeah.
And
All right.
they don't forget. because they'll remember
I know they do.
come Christmas.
They remember everything. They do. Like things that are not important to you, they remember. Things that are important to you that you want them to remember, no. Forget about it. Am I right? No?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have
No,
kids.
So we got
And
to
so
do
Andy,
current
we're so-
events. We got to do current events. You're going to talk
do
about
current
the
events.
If gathering?
Oh, good. I'm not. I know we're paying for it.
Yeah. I know
This
all the-
Saturday, registration closed already though, but it's gonna be a gathering of women here at Northridge to watch a simulcast. It's already been taking place, but it's a recording of their gathering that took place in February,
That was like 2 weeks ago.
early February, late January.
Week before last.
This year.
Oh, it was after. Actually, it was actually after I went to Hawaii.
Yeah,
that's
it was
right.
week before last.
But it's going to be here in the building from 8:30 to 4:30 in the worship center. So that should be cool. I don't know how much more to talk about because it's
I know.
already registration's already closed. I mean,
Yeah.
is there any chance anybody could go now?
I don't know, because it's like a prepay thing. So if you aren't sure,
It's probably mostly about like wanting to have enough food.
Yeah, they're getting food
but
and stuff. So
I don't know. Sarah, do you
Yeah.
have any insight? Can
she's
people-
here. She put that she's here.
Why don't you just post
There's
Sarah's
some-
number online? If anybody's got questions, just
Ah,
oh,
I was not expecting
Surprise.
that.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Hey.
We still have spots open, so if you
Told me
want
not
to
to do
go,
that.
if you want
Right
to
into
go,
the
you can
mic.
still go. So.
First
And we
and
have a
last
few
time.
youth events coming up. Mall Madness. They're
We
gonna
did
be
that cultural day on Saturday. That was
They
fun.
did the cultural day.
Yeah.
They're going out to the Mall America. There's going to be some laser tag involved and hanging out at the
I
mall.
like that. I like that image. It's nice,
Yeah.
nice and 80s.
80s
Looks like
looking.
a mall. Yeah.
Then they have their retreat in May, the 10th through the 12th. I know it's Mother's Day weekend, but they will get back by the time the service is over. The 10:30 service is over.
Moms are like, no, let them stay till like 5 in the evening.
I think we do
It's
that
fine."
every time.
Yeah, it's been the last several
Yeah.
years.
Yep. So we try to get them back so you don't have to go home and come back and pick them up.
Yeah.
That's the goal. There was one year where our bus driver was late getting to
Yeah.
pick us up, and we got back like a half an hour later than we wanted to. I think that was the retreat that I was in charge of, but again, was out of my control. So
At least you had a bus.
right, yeah. We have our kids and family Easter extravaganza event coming up Saturday, March 23rd. You do need to sign up and register for that.
So
Always
bring your
fun.
own eggs.
Yeah, raw eggs.
Is there volunteer stuff and needs list stuff for that? I think.
I thought last year we had like a big needs list, but I don't know.
I don't know
That's a
about
good question.
volunteers.
I think
I know
maybe
there's always
if you
been
hit
a needs
register, is there only for attending?
I don't know.
Maybe they got it. I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't see a needs list.
It's
it
a great
reminds
time
me
to
of-
bring your family, your kids. There's going to be all sorts of stories and games and crafts and everything related to Easter. And it should be good to invite your friends, your neighbors, maybe the kids' friends from school. Bring anybody you want. It's absolutely free, right?
Yeah.
It's completely free.
Yeah.
It's a great event to invite a friend.
I'm registering my kid right now.
right now.
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is free. Turns out. It's
Full
not going to
address.
snow this year,
Why
I
isn't
don't
my
think
address
either.
on here?
Well, Dan mentioned something yesterday about it snowing the night before.
Yeah. I don't trust him.
I do,
No.
but I
You
don't.
do.
I don't trust.
Not about the weather.
The weather
I
forecast.
don't trust his weather forecast. Maybe I should be more clear on that.
He does use an Android phone, so.
Yeah.
We have a Missions on the Move supper in April. What that is, it's an opportunity for the missions team to put on a dinner that they can share experiences from past trips. Oftentimes, they'll have one of our mission partners in town to share, kind of give an update of what's going on. We might have somebody, our mission partner from Austria, in town during
Yeah.
that.
Brandon Kosky.
Yep, Koski's.
Kosky.
Koski? Who's Koski?
The
Baseball
former
player.
Twins.
Oh, yeah.
guy.
Corey Koski. Koski.
Third baseman.
Which, by the way, in Moneyball, at the end when they showed the Twins beating them in the playoff, they showed the wrong person catch the ball for the last out.
Really?
And I think they showed Corey Koski, but it was really Danny.
Danny Valencia?
No, that was way
Dan Gladden?
No, Dan
uh,
Gladden.
it was,
Danny Hawking.
Hockey. Yeah,
No,
Danny.
not Hawking.
Denny Hawking?
Was it Hawking?
I think it was Hawking.
I
Anyway, they
always
showed
think
the wrong.
Troy
I remember
Hawkins
this.
is different.
I remember them
Yeah.
showing the wrong person catching the ball. Anyway,
Do you remember Chris
did you?
Pratt in Moneyball?
yeah,
It's funny because
Yeah.
it's like I came across the
he's a catcher. Never played
The
first
other day it
base.
was
Couldn't
like,
throw back to
um,
first or home.
thumbnail.
Or it's his pitcher.
His picture is on the thumbnail for Moneyball now.
Oh, really?
Oh,
It's just funny because it does like
he's
It's
big
young.
enough now.
Chris Pratt and like
Bigger than Brad Pitt.
that's what's
Whoa.
funny is like it used to be Brad Pitt, but
to
maybe
be
not
Brad
like
Pitt
the.
kind of holding-
I don't. Whatever it's streaming on Netflix or something. I came across it and it's like the thumbnail is Chris Pratt. It's just funny. It's just funny that it's him.
Mission's on the Move Supper.
He
They'll
wasn't that
also
big a
talk
star
about
yet.
future trips coming up this year. It's helpful for you to register. That way they have enough food.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
always
cost
helpful.
anything. But that's Saturday, April 20th from 6 to 8.
My birthday.
April 20th?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know they were having a dinner for me. I should show up.
you should.
Do you think I get it for free?
Mm-hmm.
I think the dinner is free. The whole thing is
Oh.
free. Yeah. So, yes.
Oh, okay.
You didn't have to add that part. Make him feel special.
I'll pay for you.
Exactly.
I'll cover your.
You'll pay for anybody that shows up.
Yeah.
How about that?
We have another financial seminar coming up called Who Will Inherit the Mess? That's April 23rd to the 25th. What that is dealing with kind of end of life situations. It's all free. Again, like our previous one, we're not trying to sell anything. In fact, this workshop is already paid for by
was a grant from-
a grant fund to have these people come in. And we're doing one on the 23rd here at Northridge, and then one on the 25th down in Golden Valley at a church in Golden Valley. Is it Golden Valley?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. So if you miss the one here, you can't go Tuesday. You can go Thursday. Same exact.
In Crystal.
In
yeah,
Crystal,
Cornerstone Church
yeah.
in Crystal.
So that's really good stuff.
Yeah, it's put on by Generations Legal Services.
Yep.
Sponsored by Converge.
Converge.
So.
Sean, our own professional photographer,
this is
Sean
cool.
Nielsen, is going to be offering some photo sessions this spring on April 7th from 8 to 12. And if you want to have a nice family portrait taken for free, yes, we'd like to use them. So we have a picture directory,
Those are filling up.
but are they filling up?
Well, I just like I'm scrolling and it's like full.
Yeah, there's
Well,
a few.
there's plenty left. It's just you got to sign up. You got to sign up for a time slot.
Yep.
So, if you're interested in that, sign up now. There
Yeah.
are 5-minute increments. Like there's a 9 a.m. 9
Sean's a
to 5
machine.
take-in, there's a 10.
And those are free too.
Yeah, they're free. Sean's going to give you a good, just your, standard, nice family photo, white background, but good for use for like church, images and stuff if you're involved with ministry. But also, it's just a nice picture, and Sean does a great job. So,
Yeah, that's the week after Easter.
yeah.
So-
I won't be here that Sunday.
What? Where will you
Who?
be?
Who approved that?
The Goldie's run,
Oh, okay.
5K.
I wasn't invited to that.
Yeah, you can still sign up.
Oh,
Jordan and I are running with Paul Jonason and his fiancee Jennifer.
Oh, cool.
And Paul and I were supposed to run in it last year, but
Oh, that's the one that got
snow,
canceled.
ice. It didn't get canceled. We just didn't.
Oh.
We did ours virtual instead
That's right.
because
The Twin Cities Marathon got
it was
canceled.
super
because of the
icy
heat.
and like, yeah, I don't need to go tear up a
Tear a
knee.
knee.
Yeah, kind of gimmicky 5K. Anyway,
And then the women's have a spring brunch April 27th. Do you know anything about that, Greg?
it's gonna be spring and it's gonna be brunchy.
crunchy.
No, that's always like their biggest event of the year. So there's going to be, the women's events have been like slamming, like
Right.
attendance wise, and the women's brunch is usually like the biggest one. So it's going to be it's always well done. It's nice. They're
Yep.
going to
Holly
have
Sable is
a
going to
good, Holly
sharing.
Sable is going to be sharing, and it'll be a great time. If you're new to Northridge or know someone who you'd like to invite, that'd be a great opportunity to invite other women or girls, probably like high school. I don't know if they put any age on that, but it'd be a great time to invite someone. And
It's
just
Holly,
to
so I'm guessing
get
it's like
to-
good for high schoolers.
yeah,
too.
but get to know some other women and just connect in that way. And
There
They
is
do
a
a great
cost,
job.
and you do need to sign up for it.
yeah,
The cutoff
Is
for
that open?
Huh?
No, sign up is
the
open. now?
registration
Yeah.
is open.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to do RSVP by April 19th, so you got plenty of time.
$10, but that's
It's $10,
That's
and if you
pretty
can't
much just
afford
going
it,
right to
Andy
food.
Rubel will pay
If
for
you get to my birthday, you've gone too far. So,
April 27th is Asher's birthday.
Yeah.
So there you go.
mm-hmm.
It's going to be 14. Sorry, 14.
Got my kid
Almost
right.
went ahead. It's going to be 14, man.
His name isn't Asher, is it?
That's crazy. No.
And then just a reminder, Easter Holy Week is coming up sooner than
Is it?
than I can handle. This Sunday, a week from this Sunday, is the beginning of Holy Week, Palm Sunday, and then
Let me get this devotion thing.
what? Where are you going?
I don't know. He left.
The week after that, the Holy Week, we got services on Thursday. We have a service on Thursday.
Just
It's
get
our
one of these
Last
things.
Supper service. That's going to be in the Great Room, and it's going to be about celebrating the Lord's Supper together.
Week
Friday,
devotion.
we have two Good Friday services, 5:30 and 7 o'clock. They're the same service, so pick whatever is best time for you. And maybe if you want to invite somebody to that service, it's a great opportunity to invite somebody to a service where they hear about what Jesus has done for them. And then Sunday morning, we have four services, 8, 9:15, 10:30, and 11:45. All of those are the same service. Again, pick one that works best for you. If you don't, like if you're a Northridger and you don't have like a preference, we would encourage you maybe to go to the 8 o'clock one if you don't really have a
Yes.
preference. That way that
You'll
help
get
make
the seat that you want.
yeah, and that will make room for others. But if you're inviting somebody especially to a specific service, then don't try to just come to whatever one works best for them. But if you're open all day, see about the 8 o'clock one.
Yeah. Sarah says yes. There's still spots open.
Yep, I mentioned that.
So, did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Where were you?
I don't know. I was running over getting the.
That was
Hollywood
a long time ago.
Well, I wasn't listening. There's a Holy Week devotional. It was out here last week, but that's will be available.
It's a new devotional for just Holy Week.
Just Holy Week walks through. It's each day. Not the activities, like whatever occurred that day in Holy Week in Scripture. So you walk through lots of different verses to read and that sort of thing.
Yep. We're also about a third of the way through the 21 Days of Prayer. You can get prayer guides online. You can download a digital version of that. We also have them here. So it's not too late. Even if you didn't start at the beginning, just jump in on day 13, 14, whatever it is right now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No,
it'd be like 17.
17.
Yeah. So actually, we're almost
2/3 of the way.
They're having a French toast bar.
2/3 of the way.
at
Oh,
the women's
at the
brunch.
women's brunch.
Oh, what?
French toast bar.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Sure, that's not men's
So
ministry.
you guys could start spelling Andy with an I at the end and show up as never mind. Women, nothing. Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Nardini.
Nardini is wishing you a very early birthday. Happy birthday.
Very good.
So-
I like it.
All right. Anything else, Greg? Rubel?
I was done a long
I
time
don't
ago.
know. I got nothing, I guess.
All right.
I'm just here. I'm just happy to be here.
You just eye candy?
Finally. You guys have been doing this for like 6 years.
Eye candy?
Eye candy. Been doing it for 6 years. I never get invited.
Never had Jan? Never
We've
once?
invited you
No.
several times.
I think I've invited you like twice.
And you just kind of disappear. Like the meme of Homer Simpson just backing up into the hedges.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yep.
So
All right. Well, hope to see you this weekend. Hope you have a great rest of the week. Yeah. Say goodbye, Greg.
goodbye, Greg.
Bye, Ralph.
Good night, Ed.
Good night, Ed.